This man never expected that when he went to tutor, he would unexpectedly bump into a girl who had just finished taking a shower. The girl shyly threw a bag at him, but the 5 test papers with 0 scores inside caught his attention. Taking advantage of the situation, the girl hurriedly ran away. Not long ago, as Jack was about to enjoy a luxurious lunch in the corner, he found someone taking the seat next to him. When he looked closely, it was Jenny. Jack thought it was the beginning of a love story, but instead, he focused on arguing with her over the seat. However, due to the crowded cafeteria during peak hours, the two had to share a table. This led to cold stares from others, but Jack didn't mind one bit. Jenny, on the other hand, was blushing with embarrassment. It was clear that Jenny's school uniform wasn't from Jack's school, and what surprised him even more was that her lunch contained all the most expensive dishes in the cafeteria. The total cost of her meal was enough to cover Jack's food expenses for a whole week. Jack then tried to focus on studying while eating, but Jenny was displeased with his pretense. She assumed Jack was a slacker and snatched his test paper. Her eyes widened when she saw the perfect 100 score. Jenny looked at the top student in front of her and asked Jack to tutor her. However, Jack ignored her and turned to leave. At that moment, Jack received a call from his younger sister, Lucy. Lucy excitedly told him that their family's debt could finally be paid off. A wealthy person had come to town and was looking for a tutor. The salary was 5 times the industry average. Only someone like Jack, a top student, could handle the job. The surprise came when Jack found out that the person in need of a tutor was none other than Jenny, who had transferred to Jack's high school. Jack tried to greet Jenny, but she completely ignored him and chatted with other students. The next day at lunch, Jack quietly followed behind Jenny. He knew that if he didn't apologize to Jenny soon, he would lose the tutoring job. Jack had already come up with a plan, but Jenny sat down with her friends. She noticed Jack standing nearby and coldly told him that there was no seat left. Jack, feeling embarrassed, lowered his head and walked away. However, Sophia called out to him. Sophia thought Jack was chasing after Jenny and wanted to call him over, but Jack told her to mind her own business. What troubled Jack the most was that after school, he would have to meet Jenny as her tutor. If he hadn't apologized by then, everything would be ruined. At that moment, Luna appeared, interrupting Jack's thoughts. Jack nervously asked her who she was, but Luna didn't answer him. Instead, she asked if the test paper Jack dropped was the one with the 100 score or the one with 0. Jack admitted that the 100 score was his, and Luna followed him all the way, even into the boys' locker room. Jack didn't want to get tangled up with Luna, since he had more important things to do, apologizing to Jenny. But Jack didn't expect that Jenny wasn't even home alone. Jack, who had been unable to find an opportunity, was spotted by Annie. Annie thought he was a stalker and was about to call the police, but after Jack explained, she believed he wasn't a bad guy. Finally, Jack arrived downstairs at Jenny's house, but was stopped by Lena. Lena told him to go home and not follow them anymore, but Jack replied that this was his home. Annie then exposed Jack's lie. Reluctantly, Jack ran to the elevator, but luckily, he made it just in time. Under Jenny's surprised gaze, Jack first apologized for what happened yesterday, but Jenny wasn't moved at all and told him that her tutor was about to arrive. However, the next second, Jack confidently said, "I'm your tutor." Jenny couldn't believe that Jack was her tutor.